We often feel that celebrities are getting more or overall better treatment in court simply because of their status in society. However, whether this is actually true might actually depend on a couple of different factors. Celebrities are often in the news for various legal troubles when they come up, and it's no exception when it comes to DUIs. There's been many cases where celebrities have been accused of DUIs in recent history. Most recently, on June 18th, Justin Timberlake was pulled over after failing to stop at a stop sign and allegedly not maintaining his lane of travel. The Sag Harbor Village Police Department determined that he was operating his vehicle while intoxicated. He ended up being arrested, was held overnight following his arrest, and then was released without having to post bail following his arraignment on Tuesday morning. The perception that celebrities receive more lenient treatment in court cases, including DUI cases, is very common. Celebrities often have the financial means to hire top-tier legal representation, and so people might think because they hire better representation and they have the money to hire it, they're able to get better results. There's some fallacies here with this reasoning. Some people think the result is what you pay for, but it doesn't make any sense that you can pay for a direct result in court, because court cases just don't work that way. You can, however, pay for the level of representation, and sometimes people might pay for representation and they think that the result is very bad or that the representation didn't work out. Maybe they didn't have a very good legal team. Sometimes someone gets a very reasonably priced law firm or attorney to represent them in a case, any case, DUI or not. It ends up being a very good fit because the communication is there, the hard work is there, and someone's really getting the bang for the buck. It's not necessarily about the money you pay. It's really more about whether you have open communication with your attorney, whether your attorney is doing the right work, investigating all the possible leads, looking at possible defenses, and they're familiar with the jurisdictional norms that they're dealing with and how to actually navigate your case, whether some sort of negotiation strategy is better or whether it's more proper to dig in and prepare for trial. I would say that all else equal, if you have more resources, you probably have a lot more choice in front of you when it comes to who represents you. And so that would logically mean that somebody has the ability to be more able, you would think, to find a lawyer who's a better fit for them, who better communicates with them, who better explores things and picks up on things during the interviews. If you don't have that many choices in front of you, the attorney you have, you might feel like you're not communicating with them very much. It doesn't really so much have to do with how much you're paying for that attorney, but for, how you're able to fit with that respective attorney. And unfortunately, sometimes the amount of money you pay might dictate the choices that you have. We offer top-tier legal representation for a very affordable price here at our firm, and we're more than happy to bring that experience to anybody facing a DUI charge or any iteration of DUI, whether it's DUI causing injury, DUI homicide, repeat DUI, or even any of the various non-DUI charges that we defend, such as assault or even homicide. Another factor that comes into play is the public image and influence. This idea that celebrities receive some sort of special treatment due to their status and influence. However, assuming that a celebrity's public image has any effect on a judge or a jury's decision, I would argue that this is kind of a mixed blessing at best. This could backfire. If the court feels like it's getting a certain opportunity to send a message, what better way than to do so with somebody who's coming in with a very high profile, with reporters who are more likely to follow them and give updates on the status of their case? If hypothetically a judge or a prosecutor or even a jury deciding the verdict in a case, if they feel like in any way that they want to send a message against celebrities or public figures or what have you, well, if the celebrity walks in the room and is facing the charge, that's a perfect moment of prime time to actually get that done. At the end of the day, judges, prosecutors, the people we interact with in court, they're human beings, and they have to justify the decisions that they make. A prosecutor is in there in court all day, judges are too. They have to look straight in the eye every other person they're dealing with in that courtroom, and if it's going to be determined that a grossly lenient result is being given to somebody who happens to be a celebrity, they know they're going to have some explaining to do, and in my experience, they often don't want to have to fight that battle. So I don't know that it's really warranted to think that a celebrity gets some sort of leniency because of their status. If it seems that a celebrity is getting some sort of leniency in their case, it might be because of some peculiar issue that's going on with the proof of their case or exactly how the DUI statute they're being charged with is written. Issues that conceivably can and do benefit any defendant that comes to the courtroom. But if that defendant isn't a celebrity, they're just somebody who happens to have a case where there's something really problematic with the blood test, for example, that may not even make the news. Sometimes it does, but it's not likely to if they're not, for example, Justin Timberlake or Mel Gibson. There's less incentive for that to be reported on. Another factor is the court jurisdiction, and I think this is probably really the most important factor. The outcome you get might depend a lot on how the jurisdiction you're in chooses to deal with the type of charge that you're dealing with. A lot of counties, both DA offices and judges, get used to some idea of a baseline outcome for certain types of DUI cases, for first, second, third, DUI causing injury, etc. This doesn't mean that these baselines control, because every case is still different, but some sort of baseline or jurisdictional norm is kind of a reality. Each type of case and type of DUI charge tends to come with some sort of starting point in the minds of defense counsel and the prosecutor, and it depends on what type of county you're in. And on top of that, what's the alternative sentencing like in your particular county? Is electronic monitoring an option? The sheriff's work program or informal community service, is that available as an option for either? For one time, for example, the availability of alternative sentencing up in Marin County was actually a bit in flux because the sheriff's work program wasn't available, and they were working on some sort of alternatives to that in the form of electronic monitoring or online classes, but it was to be determined whether those things would be approved. That's so many layers of what ifs that could affect the outcome of anybody coming through those courtroom doors with a DUI charge, or really any type of charge, misdemeanor or felony. And those things, way more so than the defendant's status or reputation as a celebrity or what have you, can really affect the calculation of the possible outcome. As I've said in many different videos, there's a wide range of possible outcomes that one could get in a DUI charge or any type of criminal charge. Certainly, whenever you're fighting a case, it's always important to bring to light your achievements, your good character references in a given case. Celebrities, all else equal, may have access to more of that than the non-celebrity coming in through the door. Celebrities might also have access to more negative character references based on their status as well, to bring back an earlier point. The central message is this: if there's, to the extent that people say that you're getting that celebrities are getting better results than non-celebrities, I don't think that's true. I think the real issue is whether you can address your case in a very thoughtful manner, ideally with really good legal representation to ferret out the problems in the case, what's worth investigating, and how to gel it with the jurisdictional norms. That's what really matters, way more so than your apparent status or a publicity level in the country or the jurisdiction. That's what really matters when fighting a case. Please call us anytime if you need help fighting a DUI case. We're more than happy to help, and we're ready to bring our work ethic to your benefit.